What's good, everybody? If you're watching now live on Twitch, what's going on, everyone? This will be uploaded to YouTube, so everyone on YouTube, what's up? It's your boy C40 Blaze here, coming at you with my first ever Madden rebuild. Denver Broncos here. Huge Denver fan, so it would make sense to use the Broncos, but definitely wanted to do these rebuilds to get you guys accustomed to doing rebuilds in Madden and giving you guys at least 6 or 7 really helpful pro tips in this video. So if you could like the video, subscribe, comment below, share it. You know the drill, people. Try to get the channel to grow a little bit. It just helps me out, and also obviously for you guys, you get all this information, so that's what I'm here for. First and foremost, I like to do in the settings here before I start my season, weekly training to auto, so that the computer just handles that for me. That just gives your guys a little bit more XP. Then I also like to do scout players on auto. So first video, you guys don't know how I run my rebuilds. Essentially, you have 4 seasons to build your team and try to get to the Super Bowl. So scouting players, we're really going to be doing a lot of simulating. We're not going to play any games, just a lot of acquisitions and free agency, drafting, and a lot of simulations. So the first video is going to be a little bit more in depth with all the pro tips, and then in the second video it's going to have the rest of the rebuild. So this is more of an informational video, so I really hope you guys take a lot out of this and learn something beneficial for you. So let's get right into it. Vic Fangio, Denver Broncos rebuild. It starts now. First, we're going to check out the team real quick. Offensive line, pretty good. A couple older guys here. Garrett Bowles is going to get cut, I'm telling you right now. We're going to find a replacement. Rising is really good. He's young too. My Denver Bronco fans know what's up about him. McGovern, we'll probably re-sign him to a cheap deal. Leary's good. He regresses after a little bit. James is alright. Noah Fant, superstar in the making. Cortland Sutton, we're going to have to build around him. Deshaun Hamilton's good too, so he's a good slot, but we're going to have to build around our receivers. Joe Flacco is not starting, so this is 100% a Drew Lock rebuild. This is a laser lock team, so we're going to get locked and loaded with him. Hopefully he gets a 75, 76 overall after the season, and hopefully he wins Offensive Rookie of the Year, man. Obviously running back Phillip Lindsay and Freeman. I'm going to probably trade Theo Riddick, to be honest. And on defense, the real big concern for me on defense is cornerback depth, and this defensive line is all going to get changed. But free safety, Justin Simmons, superstar. Bradley Chubb, superstar. Todd Davis is really old, but he'll play the season out. I could potentially use Joel as a starter, but gonna keep Todd Davis for now. Alexander Johnson, really good, but he regresses after a bit. Von Miller, I don't need to say anything else, superstar. Kareem Jackson, really good, regresses after a little bit here. Chris Harris Jr., we're going to try to re-sign him in free agency. But yeah, we got to work on corners, because other than him and Callahan over here, we really don't have anyone. Dawson does progress really well, so we'll see. But first and foremost, getting into some of the pro tips here for you guys, I am going to trade Joe Flacco, and the reason I'm going to do that is because this is a rebuild for Drew Lock, so I'm going to take a cap hit a little bit, and that's fine. We're going to try to find I know exactly who would like him. The Colts here really don't have any quarterback, and it's good competition for Brissett. So let's see if we get a 3rd round pick for Joe Flacco, who can contend and hopefully get the Colts to a playoff run here. So Colts do accept, which is great. And guys, I know it's a realistic rebuild, and I did trade away Joe Flacco, but honestly, if I was the GM, I would never have Joe Flacco in free agency or via trade. So it's obviously something that I would have done if I was a GM. And this is going to be pro tip right here, number 1 of the video. When you look at your lineup, you got to make sure that your scheme fits. West Coast scheme here, the West Coast zone run, not really good for Drew Lock. I mean, 64% scheme fit, we don't want that. We want something in the 80s like this. So, I mean, I'm probably going to go with Probably going to go with West Coast spread. In order to change it out, Denver's playbook. Same course the field with defense spread. Then the quarterback's looking for opening scrim. Okay, so we can do. I know exactly what offense we could run. Obviously, we could do something like Baltimore. We could probably do the Chiefs. So that's it. Baltimore offense, Denver defense. Both schemes fit. Helps your players progress a lot better. So that's pro tip number 1. So in case you guys weren't doing that, definitely get on top of that. And then yeah, we're gonna send to mid-season. So I'll see you there. So we did stop it right before mid-season just because wanted to see how the team's doing, because we could trade some players away. Denver was going to trade a couple of players away that I have in mind now. So if we don't have a good season, actually we are 4-2, so we won't be doing that. We will upgrade right now. I thought maybe if we're going 1-5, 1-6, something like that, we would maybe trade away Derek Wolfe for you know, some other guys here like Todd Davis or something. But we're 4-2 with the Chiefs 4-2 and the Chargers 4-2, so we're gonna keep it as is right now. Actually, also another reason why you want to stop it, you definitely want to do this at least after the mid-season point. So you don't want to just sim the whole season. You definitely want to re-sign some of your players just so you can have some negotiating going on. So we're going to start with Chris Harris. We definitely want to lock him up for at least 2 years. 2-year, 31 mil. Justin Simmons, definitely need to lock him up. Hopefully we can give him like a 5. If I'm not going to re-sign. He went to Baltimore. Shelby Harris could potentially, I'm not going to re-sign him now for 4.65. Could potentially get him in free agency, but we'll see if no one has any bids on him. Will Parks, not going to re-sign. Even though I like Will Parks, but Kareem Jackson's going to be the starter for the next 3 years. Theo Riddick, not going to re-sign. Gotsis, no, maybe in free agency. McGovern, I'll just re-sign. Maybe we could find a replacement or anything like that. If not, then at least we'll have him at center. So he re-signs. Booker, yeah, I'm not going to re-sign anyone. I'm going to wait on Elijah Wilkinson just because he's a really good backup, a potential starter for us, and he's very young. So we'll wait on him. All right, so I think I jinxed us. We're 4-4 now, so we lost 2 straight, and we did lose to the Chiefs, so that's a bummer there. But we can definitely re-sign Elijah Wilkinson right now, hopefully. We're going to give him like a 4-year deal. So, signed. Everyone else not going to re-sign, probably just going to replace. Alright, so let's get it. Gonna sim now to the end of the season and see how well we do. And before I do want to give you guys pro tip number 2. I don't have that much XP right now, but something you guys always should be doing, and something I honestly tend to forget sometimes. Spend your coach XP. This is huge for your team. Whether it be expert scouting, and just so you guys know, I did do auto weekly scouting just because we're doing a lot of simulating. So expert scouting, really, I mean, it's up to you guys, but I like to progress my players. So increased weekly goal XP, that's what I'm probably going to do here. And then throughout the years, I'm going to be doing my players. And we finished 8-8, and I mean, not terrible, right where everyone else is in the division, so that's a good sign. Didn't make the playoffs though, as expected. Year 1, did not expect to make the playoffs. So we're gonna sim to the Super Bowl. I'll see you guys there. Wow, if you were to tell me Super Bowl 54 was supposed to be the Jaguars and the Panthers, the Battle of the Cats, I would say you're lying. Basically, 2 teams that were nowhere near playoffs. I am completely shocked, and I think Drew Lock won Offensive Rookie of the Year. So we're going to look at the yearly stats here. Yearly awards, I'm sorry. AFC, Offensive Rookie of the Year, Drew Lock, coming in at number 1. Love to see it. Defense, no one. So we didn't get anyone on the defense, but let's see offense here. All right. Let's see who wins Super Bowl 54.
This is the last opportunity to re-sign your
The Panthers beat the Jaguars, Super Bowl 54. Taysom Hill, I don't even know how we have him on the team. He's not getting re-signed. So yeah, like I said, not going to re-sign anyone here. Going to go right into free agency. Alright, we have about 42 mil. Let's see what we can do in free agency. And just like I said in the beginning of the video, it's going to be a little bit lengthy because I do want to show you guys some of these pro tips. This is going to be pro tip number 3 in this series. So definitely one of them is in free agency, and this is a key one too, to sign free agents. So just for instance, Kendall Fuller here, no bids. I could use a corner, so why would I right now bid on him if there's no one else bidding on him? If you wait on the bids, you can actually potentially get them for a lot cheaper. So don't put a bid on someone who doesn't have a bid yet. That's my strategy, and it's been working very well. So that's something I stick by, and something I would obviously want to share to you guys. So definitely something to take in consideration when you're doing these rebuilds. But what I do need is defensive linemen. So I'm either going to go for Armstead or Chris Jones. There are some decent young defensive tackles that I could get instead of Chris Jones. So instead of spending about 64 mil, and yeah, instead of spending all that money, I'm just going to get Armstead. So I got a bid on Armstead here. Gonna check out cornerback real quick, even though I just went over Kendall Fuller. Could just get like a Levi Wallace here. So I'm gonna wait. I'm not gonna spend money. I'm gonna wait on corners just because it doesn't make sense to put a bid on anyone. Need some outside linebacker depth in the draft, but yeah, mainly just gonna work on D-line. So Armstead does sign with us. We got left end locked up, which is great. Great way to start free agency. Kendall Fuller still no contract, so see what I'm talking about, guys? No point in putting a bid on him. What happens if you paid him 60 mil over 4 years? You could potentially get him for so much cheaper. Gonna look at some of the other players here really briefly. Negative. I do not want Garrett Bowles any longer, so that's a no. No for me, fam. Decline that 50-year option. See? So the Giants gave him a lowball contract. Not a lowball contract, but you're going to sign him at a little bit of a discount if you want to go with a Kendall Fuller. Same thing like Emmanuel Sanders is not signed, Drew Brees. So some of these guys are not even getting bids. Levi Wallace is still here, so I'm going to go ahead, give Levi Wallace a deal. Scheme fit. We're going to give him a little bit of a lowball deal just to see if he bites. Even I think that's a lot of money, so I might go down a little bit. Around like 30 mil. I mean, I'm telling you guys, we could probably get him for cheaper, so let's just try. I mean, I'm not going to be mad if I don't sign him, to be honest with you, but let's see if we can get him for like 25 mil. Give him a contract. We need some wide receiver depth, so I'm just going to get what, you know, somebody who's at least a scheme fit here. We'll go with this guy. Why not? Low ball contract. Do want to sign a right end though. Gotsis is getting a deal from the Raiders. You got to be kidding me. Come on, Oakland. That's it. That's all I'm going to do. I'm going to try to sign those two players. Let's see what we get. Wallace accepts. The receiver doesn't. No worries. We have a lot of draft picks, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of draft picks. So we're going to send to the draft
Welcome
here.
To draft week. All the effort you spend scouting comes down to this. Start the draft.
So hopefully that pro tip
ready.
number 3 made sense to you guys, just because obviously it worked with Levy Wallace. We waited. No one bid, so we gave him a low ball contract.
The Broncos are now on the clock.
Here we are in the draft. Going to see who we can get. First time looking at this draft, so don't know what's out there. Remember, I did the auto. Honestly, don't like outside linebacker. It doesn't make sense. Right guard right now doesn't make sense. Free safety does not make sense. So it's okay to trade back in the draft. Something you guys can always do. And what I like here is left tackle. So one of these guys could probably get some additional draft picks and get one of those guys to start at left tackle. And then hopefully draft some receivers here. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to review some of these picks. We're going to do this. Eagles here, second round, and another second round next year. Or, actually, we're going to do the Colts one. Yeah, we're gonna do the Colts one.
I see both teams filling out cards. You know what that means?
Only thing about this is you better hope that your player's there. So it is risky. This is gonna be pro tip number 4. So when you're doing your draft, I've gotten so much good talent out of doing stuff like this. This left tackle here, Marquise Lloyd, 5th round projection. But here it says he is really a 2nd round talent, so we're going to wait in like the 4th round and get him. So I'm not going to draft a left tackle here. I'm going to go with maybe this wide receiver because I don't see any other decent receivers here. And then for D tackle, I definitely want to get one of these guys here. Really good combine grade here for Warren Goodman, so I'm going to go wide receiver.
The Steelers are now on the clock.
Not that great of a pick, but hopefully he progresses.
The Broncos
And then we're going to go D tackle.
The Packers are now on the clock.
Starting D tackle is right there. Just drafted him. And then we're going to send to the next user pick. Sometimes, like I said, you're going to get really, really good players off of that. Pro tip number 4. I'm just going to go ahead and do it. I'm going to get Tavon Davis right here.
The Broncos
some
are now
additional
on the
depth. Drafted 2 really good D tackles, so I'm really not mad. And I'm not going to hesitate, so I'm going to go right for that left tackle.
The Patriots are now
69 overall. So Garrett Bowles had a 69 overall. He was 29 years old. This guy's 22, 54 ranked left tackle. Well, I'm sorry, 54 ranked player in the draft. I got him at 84. This is exactly why it's so crucial to use that pro tip number 4. Just a little draft recap for you guys. Like I said, in the new rebuilds I'm going to be doing after this one, it's just going to be simming free agency, going over the free agents, simming the draft, going over the draft after. So we got wide receiver, 68 overall, in the second round here. Then we got a defensive tackle to fill the hole, and then some depth there as well. Then we got our starting left tackle in the 4th round. We used pro tip number 4 to get him, which he's our starter, so he's going to progress really nice. Then we just got some depth guys here, additional receiver, and a couple of extra linemen here. So nothing too crazy. I'd say it's a decent draft. I'd probably give myself, honestly, like a C+. Not really a B, but a C+ there. So we're going to sim next year and see what happens. So yeah, we're going to advance to mid-season, and I'll see you there. So obviously the Chiefs are 4-3, leading the division here. So we're going to actually just sim another week because we definitely need to resign some of these players, so it doesn't make sense to sim past that. But first and foremost, spend the coach XP. Definitely want wide receiver training boost. Definitely want defensive line training boost. That's exactly what I'm going to do. Defensive line, wide receiver. We got a young defensive line. We got a young receiver core. So definitely want that so they progress a little bit better here. All right, let's see if we can make the playoffs in year 2. It's not looking too good, so we'll definitely see. It's 4-12, obviously. Denver Bronco fashion. Cannot get to the playoffs without Peyton Manning, so haven't been there since Peyton Manning. And before Peyton Manning, what was it, Tim Tebow? Jesus. So we're going to send to the Super Bowl. Let's see what we got in the Super Bowl. Last year it was the Panthers and the Jaguars. And the Panthers beat the Jaguars in the Super Bowl. I don't get that one. But this is probably more realistic. The Bills and Saints. I could definitely see the Saints getting there. And I can definitely see the Bills with that defense. With Stephon Diggs now, I mean, it's dangerous. Let's see who wins.
This is the last opportunity to re-sign your players, or
And the
they'll
Saints
become
beat the
free
Bills.
agents.
Super Bowl 55. Not going to re-sign any of these guys. Maybe Ron Leary to your... Yeah, I could give you a 1-year deal. Alright, test free agency, no worries. We got Elijah Wilkinson to back you up, so I'm not really mad about it. Alright, welcome back. Gonna recap free agency here for everyone on YouTube. So my signings, we did sign Keanu Neal at strong safety. Definitely needed an upgrade from Kareem Jackson, so we're going to have to trade him away, hopefully to a contender, to make it as realistic as possible. And then we got McKinley at right end. We tried to get the left tackle, Tunsil, but we couldn't get him. He wanted way too much money, but really happy on the defensive side that we got both these players. And let's get right into the draft. And if you're watching live, obviously we're going to go through the whole draft. And if you're on YouTube, I'll see you at the draft recap. Really, really good draft here, so I'm very, very excited. We got Damian Irving, second overall, first round, 75 overall player, 96 speed, huge to go with Cortland Sutton. Then we got our starting right guard here in the second round, steal of the draft here. He was projected to go in the 4th round. I used the pro tip that I gave in my first video, so if you haven't seen that video, definitely go check it out right now. Very, very, very insightful for you guys. Got a left tackle. Thought he was going to be better than ours that we had, but Just add some depth. Then I went kicker and punter in the 3rd and 4th round, just trolling. Then I got some depth guys, so nothing too crazy, but really, really good draft here. So we're 2, 4, and 1. This is ridiculous. We got to definitely sign some players here. We definitely need to re-sign Von Miller. He's going to accept this, I hope. He wants more money. That means you're having a bad year. So Cortland Sutton, we'll give him 55. Oh, we want to give him more than 4 years. We want to give him a 5-year deal. Are you kidding me? We're not re-signing Chris Harris Jr. Kareem Jackson, I should have traded him, but I wanted to keep it realistic. Bryce Callahan, we're going to have to re-sign him to at least a 1-year deal. Hopefully he signs, takes this offer here. So we got him locked up. Royce Freeman, we could give him this contract. It's very low, and he's just a backup, so it's fine. He's a good backup too, so. Sean Hamilton, definitely need to re-sign him unless, yeah, he's not asking for that much, so we'll re-sign him. McGovern, we're going to replace. Duke Dawson really progresses well, so I'm going to give him a 3-year deal. Really good trade by Denver a couple years back. We're going to give Jewell a contract here as well. He's our starting linebacker. We'll give him 3 years. He's going to want more money, but oh, there we go. Got him signed up. Yep, so for right now, that's all I'm going to do. Upgrade these players. We got to get Von Miller, man. I can't believe he didn't want to resign with us. It's because we're having a bad year. So I'm going to send next week just to see if we can re-sign Von. Come on, Von. Come on, baby. I'll give you the money you want. Wish the bonus was better. Jesus. Cortland Sutton wants to be like the highest paid wide receiver in the league. Yep, I just gotta re-sign Von. That's it. I'm gonna upgrade my players here. Really, really good team. I can't believe we're 3, 4, and 1 right now. Let's check the division. The Black Knights? What are the Chargers? Kidding me? You went from powder blue to Black Knights. So year 3 didn't go as planned. How can we compete with the Chiefs and the Black Knights, the old Chargers? 7 and 8 and 1. We all have 3 ties. It's insane. Hardest division in the league. I don't care what anyone says. Maybe the NFC South, if that's with the Saints and everything now, with Bridgewater playing for the Panthers, but Denver has the hardest division. One more year to try to make the playoffs and go for a playoff push for the Super Bowl, and then the rebuild is concluded, but we're going to sim to the Super Bowl, see what we got. I'll see you there. We got a Cowboys-Ravens Super Bowl, Super Bowl 56. This could most definitely be the Super Bowl in a couple years. I'm just kidding, Cowboy fans. Come on now. Let's see if my rookie receiver made the Offensive Rookie of the Year. No. He's up there, though, but... Sent the off season here. This is our last off season. All right, come on, Chris Harris. Come on, baby. And he accepted. Chris Harris, Denver Bronco for life. I don't care what anyone says. He's gonna sign. We're gonna make a playoff push here. Let's get to the draft, baby. Let's get into the draft. So free agency recap for everyone watching on YouTube. We only signed one person. It's Chris Harris Jr. That's why I didn't give him a contract extension at the end of the year. I knew we could get him probably cheap in free agency, and we saved about, what, almost $4 million doing so. So if you haven't checked my first video, go watch out the first video on YouTube. It gave a lot of pro tips out there that will definitely help you guys in your rebuilds, and That's exactly what we used right there. But let's get into the draft, boys, and some females, if you're watching. If there are any females out there watching, I'll take my shirt off on YouTube one day and really make your day. Draft recap here for everyone watching on YouTube who's not following my Twitch. You should all be following my Twitch. It's Twitch TV / C40 Blaze. Everyone should be following it. The funniest Twitcher you'll see, Call of Duty. But draft recap here, middle linebacker just to get some depth, corner depth, and then free safety, 76 overall. Wanted some depth, but it looked like he's going to be the future over here. Probably switch him to strong safety if possible, but a lot of depth guys here. It's the last year to win a Super Bowl, so we're going to sim right into it.
Now let's take a minute to see how you can improve your team.
This is it, ladies and gentlemen. Last year to potentially win a Super Bowl. So we're going to sim right to midseason. I'll see you. We are 2-6 in the midseason. It does not look like this is going to be a good draft or a good rebuild for you guys. So I do apologize in advance for the first rebuild, but the Broncos had a lot of gaping holes there that we had to refill. A really good team, though. I mean, 85 overall. The sim gods are not in my favor at all. So what we're going to do is we're going to sim to basically the end of the year. I hope you guys enjoyed the rebuild. I hope you guys really took those pro tips and are starting to utilize those in your rebuilds, because they are tremendously going to help you succeed. What I'm going to do is I'm going to sim to the end about week 16 just to play one game with the team, just because we did have a really good team. They got really unlucky with the drafts, and with the sims. So thanks guys for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button below, share. Don't forget to comment any thoughts, anything in that regard, any rebuilds that you guys want to see. And essentially, if you guys need any pro tips or anything like that, whether it be rebuilds or whether it be online play, I'm going to start uploading some of my videos on online, some of the blitzes I have and some of the one-play touchdowns. So if you guys like that, just comment below, let me know, holler at your boy, and I'll obviously get you guys the information you need. So thank you for watching, and stay tuned for some more videos. I appreciate you guys. Thanks.